talk a lot today. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing about the Gazelle clock. So one of these days, we're going to do a half an hour on the Gazelle clock that was found in 1 Kings. But today, we're focusing on Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. We had a revelation about the name of God, Yahweh. And what does it mean? Yud, He, Vav, He is behold the hand, behold the nail. So God's name has a special revelation about the Son, His Son, that's going to die on the cross. The multiple layers of insights that we can glean from biblical Hebrew is a way and footprint of God the Father showing us His love for mankind. People say that Old Testament and biblical Hebrew is boring. I say you have not eaten the real food. You need to chew on real food. Now today, just for very short sharing, we're going to talk about the 3 words. Because we're talking about Genesis, I just want to expound a little bit, just 1 minute. There are 3 words that can be used in the Bible to talk about making, right? Some of us like to make cakes. Some of us like to make cookies. Chinese New Year is coming. Some of us like to make pineapple tarts, which stands for prosperity cookie. That's the crazy thing about the Chinese, right? But there are 3 words. You can use the word ASAH. So David ASAH cookies. I make cookies, right? BARA is generally 99% used when God creates something out of nothing, except in the book of Joshua chapter 17 verse 15 or 25. 15 or 25? 15. So except for Joshua chapter 17 verse 15, where it talks about clearing, not making. Right? Other than that, 99% of the time when the word bara, which is bet, resh, and aleph is used, it is used when God, in the context of God creating something out of nothing, which is why we're doing Genesis today. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it says 7 words, which stands for perfection. The Bible is written from perfection. And the Bible is written from a God who doesn't need to be in time, space, and matter. Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et Hashemayim, va'et ha'aretz. In beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And when God used the word bara to the inspired authors, He is using the word bara, bet, resh, aleph. Not yatzar, not ASAH. Now, what is the significance of bara? Ladies and gentlemen, classes, everyone around the world that is watching this, some of you who have attended my class, you know the word be, re, shit, which is the word in beginning, right? But look at it. In case you missed it, bara appears again in the second word of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And what does bara stands for? Bet, resh, aleph. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the insight is going to happen. Holy Spirit, I pray that you release this word to the world. Bet, resh stands for the Son. Aleph stands for God. Look at this from Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 when God says, in the beginning God created, and go to John chapter 1 verse 1 and it says, in the beginning was the Word and the Word created. And if you look at it further, it says in Colossians chapter 1, for by Him all things were made, both on heavens and on earth. Hashemayim ha'aretz, visible and invisible, whether thrones, dominions, or rulers, or authorities, all things have been created through Him and by Him. Who is this Him? God to the Son. Ba, Be, Resh, Aleph. When God says in the beginning, the word create has an embedded meaning that the Son of God is the one who was there from the beginning with the Father, who created the heavens and the earth with Him. Hallelujah. I pray that this revelation goes around the world and that people begin to understand that it is God who has written the spiritual aspects into this word bara. It's not ASAH. It's not yatzar. It's not Yud, Zayin, Resh. Those are making things out of something. You and I can make cookies because we went to Coles and Woolies or Sheng Siong or NTUC in Singapore. Buy something and make it together in an oven. But no, God creates something out of nothing. And who was the agency involved? Just the Son of God. Hallelujah. We bless your name, Lord.